Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and we are here at Kikao na Sauti na ndugu yangu Msimamo. Msimamo, habari gani?
Ndugu, mimi niko salama, namshukuru Mungu, tumeiona siku. Hakika ni Jumatatu nyingine safi kabisa ambayo Mungu ametunemesha pumzi tena kuwapapa hapa kwa ajili ya kuendeleza haswa mazungumzo yetu ya mstakabali wa siasa yetu haswa katika taifa, hususan tuelekea kwa haswa, maana siku zinajongea bwana. Ama kweli kulala la kucha ni mwaka, ndugu yangu Benson, siku zinasongea bwana. Yaani mwaka sasa hivi umekatika huu kiasi kwamba tunahesabu hasa masiku ya yani nusu ya mwaka kufikia uchaguzi mkuu. Kwa hiyo hapa ndipo haswa kwa kuyaganga yalivyo. Kwa hiyo nimejaajaa ndugu yangu kama pishi la ubwabwa kwa wale ambao ni wapenzi wetu wa Brother Benson Media, haswa kuweza kuzungumza yale ambayo tutajaliwa. Unaona? Kwa hiyo kwako kaka.
Asante sana. Weekend yako ilikuwa vipi?
Weekend yangu ndugu yangu ilikuwa nzuri. Namshukuru Mungu, katika anga zetu hizi kumetokea lile na lile, tumeshuhudia kwa Halwale, tukashuhudia haswa yale yalikuwa haswa kule Kitale kwa kumbukumbu za mheshimiwa kijana wa Malwa, lakini vile vile haswa na bwana Gathieta naye kuweza kukutana na Northern, haswa watu wa Northern na wale wengine, unaona na siasa. Yani kwa kweli haswa ilikuwa ni weekend ambayo naweza nikasema kwangu ilikuwa bomba zaidi, kwa sababu tunapepasa kila pande, yani kuona kwamba kwa kweli haswa siasa imenoga na kumekucha sasa hivi, unaona. Lakini kwa kweli haswa zaidi ya yote ni uzima tulionao ambao Mungu atumenemesha haswa kukutana tena haswa hii leo. Kwa hiyo weekend yangu ilikuwa safi.
Okay, asante sana kwa hayo. Now I can see our good friend Eric. Eric, how are you doing?
Eric? I'm doing good. Yeah, Benson, Msimamo, and mwingine simjui. I'm doing good. Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was quite fun. Yeah, not very busy, quite fun. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. There are a few things that we wanted to have a conversation over, because these are things that are touching especially on our fabric, especially of our country, Kenya. And I would start with the video that is going around on Moses Masika Wetangula, where the video says that he has been bringing people or bringing members of parliament to President William Ruto. Then each one of them are given the TSC letters, especially to take to their various areas so that they can give out those letters to the teachers out there. But at some point he said that there is a nurse who was asked to pay over 400,000 Kenya shillings so that the letters could be given, so that the daughter could get an opportunity to work. Now, from him, or from what he's saying, is that those letters, 10 of them, are from head of state. And remember, these are TSC. So maybe I want you to weigh your thoughts, bearing in mind that we have TSC is an institution that should give equal employment to Kenyans. But if it reaches a point whereby now, according to the Speaker of National Assembly, he's saying that these letters, they're given by the head of state, where is the quality or the equality of employment, especially for Kenyans? And for those who are very poor, living below the poverty line, how will they get those opportunities if they're given to the member of parliament? Because like they can decide on who they give depending on how the support is. Maybe before I come to Msimamo, you can weigh your thoughts on that, and what does that one speak about our structure on education and our leadership that we have? Eric, can you hear me? Ni kama tumempoteza. Msimamo, labda umeona hiyo kanda ya video ambao kinara wa bunge Moses Wetangula anasema kwamba kuna baadhi ya wabunge ambao aliwapeleka pale kwa rais, akawapatia barua kama 10 ya kuajiri walimu. na hawa wakienda eneo zao unapata kama mwingine anaiuza kama takriban 400,000. Msimamo uko na gani ya kusema kuhusiana na haya mambo ambayo inasemekana na spika wa bunge? Huyu si jamaa, huyu si mtu yoyote, huyu ni spika wa bunge ambaye ni namba 3 ukiangalia kwa command, is the third in command, especially when you look at our governance systems. Wewe unaweza sema vipi?
Kapewa yeye aswa hizo slots.
Hizo slots hazijapatiwa. Anasema kwamba ukiona pale kwa vile video anasema kwamba kuna wabunge ambayo anawapeleka pale kwa rais anawapatia kama barua 10 za kuajiri walimu. Na alikuwa anazungumza na mama fulani na nurse fulani, anasema kwamba hao wabunge wengi wao labda wakishapatiwa hizo, ukitaka kupata ajira kupitia kwa wao kwa barua ambao ulipatiwa na rais, lazima ulipe takriban 400,000. Na hii nasema bunge ndio nasema haya. Wewe kauli yako ni gani?
Kwa maana hiyo kwamba wabunge wale ndio ambao wanauza hizo position kwa watu kwa hela.
Kwa hela, na pia hizi barua zinatoka kwa rais. Na tunajua watu ambao wamepatiwa mamlaka ya kuajiri ni watu wa TSC, taasisi ya walimu.
Ndio. Unajua hii inaashiria kwamba tuko na uozo aswa katika taifa letu kwamba taifa letu yani tuko na mapungufu mengi aswa, hususu aswa ikiwa barua hizi zinatoka aswa katika mtu ambaye ama kiongozi ambaye ni mkuu kwa hadhi yake kama hiyo ambayo tunaizungumza, ni kuonyesha mapungufu tele ambayo yapo kwamba corruption haitaweza kuisha aswa katika hili taifa. Unaona? Haitaweza kuisha kabisa. Wasidanganye kwamba this regime iko tayari kabisa kumalizana na corruption ikiwa haswa wao wanakuwa ndio wafadhili wa kwanza katika hali hii. Kwa maana kama ni barua hizi zinapeanwa na zinatoka direct katika school kama ile, basi ni kuonyesha mapungufu yaliyopo haswa katika swala zima la kupigana na ufisadi katika hili taifa. Pili haswa wabunge pia kufanya hilo jambo haswa kwa kuweza kuuza hizi nafasi walizopewa haswa kwa watu wanaoongoza chini mashinani huku, inakuwa si jambo la mbolea. Maana hili limekuwepo tangia awali kwamba unakuta nafasi kama hizi zikishapewana, wale wanapewa nafasi ya kipaumbele ni wale ambao wako karibu na mbunge. Unaona, maana kiongozi. Hii ndio ilikuwa norm tangia awali. Tumeyashuhudia tu si mara moja si mara mbili haswa slots hizi zikipianwa haswa edha za walimu ama kama ni za askari wetu kujiunga kwa askari, unakuta kwamba wale ambao ni wandani na wakaribu zaidi haswa wa kiongozi basi ndio wanakuwa wa kwanza kupata hizi slots. The rest wanakuwa kanga wenye chongo kwa wanachokifanya kufukulia wenye macho. So katika hii hali inaonyesha wazi kwamba hii haitaweza kumaliza haswa corruption katika taifa letu, na vyombo vinavyohusika katika hili sijui vinatazama wapi, ikiwa pengine wako na taarifa hizi kwamba kuna wajumbe ambao wanauza haswa hizi nafasi kwa bei hiyo ambayo tumeizungumza hapa, lakini kibaya zaidi haswa inatoka katika barua zingine zinatoka katika ofisi kuu. Hii tume ambayo tumeichagua ambayo tunaita iko huru kuweza kutuchunguzia haswa masuala kama haya haswa wako wapi?
Sasa unajua swali ni je, swali ambalo mimi nakuuliza ni je, tunaita tume ya uchaguzi ili wachunguze jambo ambalo linatokea, na ukiangalia hadhi ya kinara wa bunge Mheshimiwa Moses Wetangula ni mtu ambaye ni msomi, ana taaluma ya wanasheria, anajua sheria ya Kenya inasema vipi sana kuhusiana na mambo kama haya, na unapata kwamba hawa ndio wanaenda kinyume na sheria, na bila hata kubagua ama bila hata kukua naibu, anakuja mbele ya umma akasema kwamba kuna hili jambo ambalo linatokea, na hinhali au yeye mwenyewe ndiye anafaa atetee wananchi. Na unajua vizuri kwamba hizi barua zikipatiana sana wabunge, hatapatiana yule mtu labda labda awasikizani kisiasa, kwa sababu katika eneo lake huwezi sema kwamba katika hilo eneo lake kwamba anasikizana na watu wote. Kuna wale ambao wanampinga kisiasa, na hao labda wanampinga kisiasa, watoto wao wamehitimu na wao pia wako na nafasi kuenda kuajiriwa. inamaanisha kwamba hawa wataajiriwa kwa sababu labda msimamo yao ambao wamechukua kisiasa kulingana na mbunge. Sasa mbona tuite uchunguzi ifanywe kwa jambo ambalo unaifanya kimaksudi? Uchunguzi itafanywa vipi? Na kwa kweli wewe ushasema already ni kwamba hili ndio jambo ambalo linatokea. Mbona sasa tunaita tuite wale wakuje wachunguze, na kweli imetoka kwa wewe mwenyewe?
Si ndio hapo sasa kuchukua mzigo kwa kisha kuleta kwenye bega ukidhani ni kupumzika, lakini ukweli wa mambo hii hapa si kuitwa kuchunguza, ni hii kauli ibebwe, hii kauli ambayo imeshachukuliwa haswa ishazungumzwa haswa. Basi wale wanahusika na jambo kama hili, hakuna haja ya evidence. Already evidence ishatolewa na mtu ambaye haswa ndio mkuu katika nafasi hiyo ya wajumbe. Mkuu wao mkubwa hapo ni speaker wao, yeye ndio anasimamia shughuli zote za bunge na everything kinachokumbana na wabunge. Kwa maana hiyo sasa, huyu ana taarifa na wabunge akina nani na ni akina nani haswa wamehusika katika hili. Basi hii ni tume inahusika kwenda kuwakabili, kwa sababu already kuna mtu ambaye anazo fununu za hawa wajumbe kupitia kwa speaker. So speaker ndio mtu wa kwanza kuweza kuwajibika katika hili ili likomeshwe. Lakini je, kwa taifa lipi? So hili limeletwa tu kisiasa, lionekane kwamba Wetangula amezungumza jambo lenye maana zaidi ili kulitaka kuteka hisia za watu, lakini kwa kweli mwisho wa siku yeye ndo anatufumbia hiyo haki ambayo inafaa ifanyike, kwa sababu hakuna haja ya kuita tume ichunguze wakati already ushazungumza kwamba kuna vitu ambavyo haviendi sawa. So for real hope niwachie wenzangu hapa nisiwe mrefu sana, lakini kwa kweli aswa wangeanza na mwenyewe Wetangula aswa hii tume ambayo inaitwa kwa uchunguzi aswa si wachunguzi sasa, ni wale wanaohusika na kukamata kupeleka mahakamani kuona pia kwamba kuna jambo aswa limefanyika, ila aswa nafasi kama hizi zikipewana ziwafikie wale walengwa, na pia zisiwafikie tu jamii ama watu wa karibu wanaofungamana na mbunge, bali ziende kwa wale ambao haswa ni wananchi ambao watoto wao haswa wameweza kuhitimu katika mambo kama hayo.
Okay, asante sana. Eric uko hapo?
Yes, I'm here, Msimamo.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm seeing also our good friend, the lost friend, Joseph too, is here. I just want to know your view, especially on what the video that is circulating on the social media on Moses Wetangula, claiming that there are quite a number of members of parliament that he usually brings them to the president, and they are being handed over appointment letters, especially for the teachers, TAC, and they go back to their various villages and they sell this at a cost of around 400,000, knowing very well that TAC especially is an independent office that should employ teachers equally across the board. And now this is like it's being now politicized, and you know very well that these members of parliament, when they go to their area of representation or their constituency, they are those who do not align with their political view. And in that process, maybe one or two people who are not aligning with him are qualified to be teachers. They might be denied this opportunity because of that. What would be your take, and what does this one or the picture it creates, especially in our system?
Okay, I think it has happened for a while. I think different institutions, even when you look at the recruitment of, I think, do you call them KDF? I think they still do that. And even like I had a friend, she was a bit young in this police, I think anaitwa askari wa jela, and she paid, I think, 300,000. So I think it has happened in like with different institutions, but I think we should because the speaker has power. The speaker has power. I think he shouldn't even complain like Kenyans, you know. He has power. He should use his power. I think the first thing he need to do is to name them. You know, I think he should name them. I think there's something they call because I think they fall when you talk of leadership and integrity. I mean, that's the lowest they can get as member of parliament. Then I was doing some research and I was saying the speaker can invoke powers and privilege committee through the parliament, like can name the suspect or sanction the MPs. Also, the speaker can also order parliamentary committee investigation. So the speaker has power.
You know, the speaker can have power if these things were happening or this process were happening without his knowledge, and he came to realize, okay, or he come to detect that, okay, this is happening, that these letters that is coming from the president, and they end up being sold out, especially for the member of public who are qualified. And now you have to start investigating. But now, if you are the investigating body and you're the person facilitating this, how then will you use the privileges that you are being given? Then you come to the common mwananchi. For those who are qualified, because like you may end up giving a letter to somebody who is not qualified, those positions, somebody who is not qualified, just because they align to your political ideology. And somebody who is qualified, who does not align himself or herself to your political, will miss out the opportunity. So when you look at that, and what does it create in the system and the leadership, especially we have from...
I think it's like it's degradation of meritocracy. That's what I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah, I think. But I think this thing even the president know.
Yeah,
You know,
because like he
it's only
knows.
that those MPs they are close to him. That's why. Yeah.
But do you think by Wetangula coming out in public to say this, is it a form of wants to make the public knows that president is creating an opportunity, or what could be the end goal for him, especially to come out, especially naming the president and also naming the members of parliament, especially who are at the end of the day are charging these employment opportunities?
I think if he could have named, I could have been able to analyze it further.
Okay.
Because maybe I would have known about their political allegiance,
Yes.
or if they are being suspected, or because even with Tangura, I think personally I have a problem with how he is with his leadership in parliament.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt his leadership capability, but in parliament, I think somehow he has reduced the like that position to be more political, like open than it used to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair enough. Joseph, habari gani?
Habari yangu ndugu.
Kwani huko Kongo mulienda, mulikataa kurudi?
Nilikuwa nadhani hata nikuambie mambo kwani umefanana na mzee Atuoli, unaambiwa tu kusikizage Lingala na kunywe kawaini hapo polepole.
Mimi ama wewe Joseph umekuja na mkombozi, umewacha your son Jesus Christ wapi?
Mambo ilienda mrama nikabidi nimemwacha pale msalabani peke yake.
Okay, Joseph, Joseph asante sana. It's been long. I hope all is well, and thank you, my brother, for showing up. And maybe in brief, we are just giving our opinion on the video that is circulating on the social media about Moses Wetangula, who is the Speaker of the National Assembly. Talking about the employment opportunities, especially of TAC, that he brings these members of parliament to the president, give them around 10 letters for appointment, especially. Then they will give those 10 letters at their own discretion, like who I like, who is the member is going to give it. And he said that some of them are ending up charging this to a value of around 400,000. What would you say about that?
Well, what I can say is very unfortunate that a whole speaker who is using public funds and is being paid by public, and he knows that TSC is a public body, you can find him that he's the one who is distributing this kind of, he's the one taking these MPs and helping them in the distribution of these certificates or this calling for TSC. It's very bad if these are the revelations. And one thing they are making Gachagua to be like a prophet, because we have talked about these things before. Yeah. And he said that teachers, MPs are the ones who are being given this calling for the TSC. So this one, already this is a criminal thing, and it should be prosecuted, because you cannot be that that the MPs are the ones who are being given these letters of appointment, and when other Kenyans cannot be able to get them. And it's as we say that TSC is an independent body, so it means TSC all along has not been an independent body, and they need people to be able to they are giving these appointment letters to members of parliament, who are in turn giving money, giving them to people by selling them in terms of money. It's very unfortunate that our country has been like this. The single thing that Kenya is lacking right now is the rule of law. The rule of law has really gone down, because when you don't have rule of law, the second thing that comes is the country becomes it becomes a gangster paradise, as we say, and people start doing corruption dealings. You will find now, we were just the other day in army recruitment and calling that people, how people are being called in the army. You remember that story? Even police, we had that majority of the policemen who were taken, almost 2,000 and something, were from one certain community, and now we are hearing about a revelation of how Moses Wetangula has been able to do corruption dealings, because those are corruption dealings with State House. It is very unfortunate. But this government, I think even every day is like they want to have something that is bad to be talked about them. I don't know what happens with this government. Sometimes hata unajaribu kuficha makosa kidogo, angalau you get some mileage. Yet every day it's a complaint. It's about theft, about this, about that. So certainly, these are not revelations that people have not seen. It is happening. It has been happening, but it is very unfortunate that even the up levels of the government, they already know they are doing these things. I hope it was happening in the TSC level, but not in those up places. It means that we have all lost it. It is a dance in heaven.
All right. Thank you. That is what is happening. Remember, there was also an interview that Sifuna had, and Sifuna talked about it. And now Moses Wetangula has confirmed that interview that Sifuna had. He was alleging that especially these TSC opportunities, appointments, they were given to members of parliament, and they go and distribute in their areas of representation, and they give whoever is supporting them. Because I do not think that if you're given this opportunity, you're going to give somebody who is opposed to your kind of leadership. You will always give it to those who are loyal to you. And then again, you're not going to look at give it on merit, because you will find that somebody who has qualified is going to miss out just because he do not even have the amount of money. And remember, majority of our parents, this is something that good percentage of our parents do struggle, especially to take us to school. You sell, some parents go selling maybe the whole land. They just have to leave a piece of land where they can only sleep, just to make sure that their children go to school, or they are but reaches a point immediately after graduating, or then when it comes to employment, you find that the opportunity might not land your door just because you are poor, or you cannot afford that 400, as the case of what the CS will not CS, but the speaker was saying. So that's where we are. Okay, thank you so much again. Because I know that I wanted to go for an hour, and you will bear with me. So maybe if we have an opportunity, we will try to be very brief on our contribution so that we can beat 1 hour, because like after that I need also to attend to some other issues. Okay, there's so much that happened during the weekend. We saw former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was in Kitale, especially they were celebrating Kijana wa Malwa Senior for the last 23 years. And we saw leaders who formed the Rainbow Coalition, Ngilu, Kalonzo Musyoka, we saw Wekesa, and the political statements also took center stage. And what people are discussing about when President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was naming those who were aspiring to be the president, that people should vote them. He also called out on nation that do not stop anybody from campaigning in any part of the country. But what juiced the conversation was when he named Atauyo Sifuna, the reception and the loud and all that. That what makes it. And he said that he doesn't want to be a sponsor. You know very well that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been accused, especially of sponsoring, especially the United Opposition. And even the interview that the president had that yesterday, he talked about that too. We will also talk about that now. Let me begin with you, Eric. Based on what happened, especially with the statement of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the reception that talked about Edwin Sifuna and the issue of debunking about the facilitation or funding of United Opposition Alliance, what would be your take, especially on President remarks that day?
Do I start?
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can start.
Thank you, Brother Benson, and thank you, Eric. I was thinking Brother Benson told me to go, but it's okay. I watched that whole event, and truly, what I can say is that people. 1 minute, Brother Benson.
All right, we are waiting for Joseph to see. So as we wait for Joseph, we are just discussing about that. And as we still wait for Mr. Joseph, today, Rigathi Gachagua had a conclave, I would call it so, at Wamunyoro, where he met the Gen Z. Some of the highlights of that conversation was, one, Rigathi Gachagua said that he's going to run for presidency. So that is also a discussion for another day. He spoke about the rigging of election, and he said that he's still waiting for some information, then he will relay it to Kenyans. So, okay, go ahead.
Can I go? Sorry, so I was saying that I watched the whole Kijana wa Malwa, was it the 23rd remembrance of his memorial, and I think Uhuru needed to answer these people because they have been bombarding him left, right, and center. And you know, some accusations, whether the accusations or is true, he needed to answer them in full. And one thing he did, he just played to the ball of what had happened in Kitale. You know, those people were very eager to hear what he was supposed to say. And he knew that they are going to tell him, ile mambo ya toboa. Even you are hearing them telling him toboa yote. And I think the perception and the reception of Sifuna in that rally, because when he mentioned the candidates that are supposed to run against Ruto, you could notice clearly there was some kind of, when he mentioned Sifuna, there was a kind of, everybody was in cheers when he mentioned Sifuna. So that means that the Sifuna factor is really becoming a headache, more so for the person who is running against them. And it's obviously President Ruto. And even if you heard when he mentioned Ruto in Kitale, you heard them saying one term. Then after he continued. So he was just trying to play ball. Alikuwa anajaribu, hakuwa anataka kuoneshana yeye mwenyewe. Brother Benson, tunajua nani ana sponsor hawa watu, lakini atajaribu tu kusema si yeye, lakini ni yeye tunajua. But you know, some things you try to keep off because you know, the bombardment is not going to these leaders. The whole week has, I think, not even the whole week. This whole month has been Uhuru Kenyatta being bombarded by the people who have been unleashed by William Ruto to him. And even William Ruto himself, he finished that debate the day before yesterday, and he said about things about why Uhuru Kenyatta he should be presidential and stop. He should be presidential and become an advisor and stop this campaigning. All about the campaigning and everything. You know, if you're a politician, you quite be continue to become a politician even if you are retired. But from that reception, Brother Benson, you can tell that there is a fact that the Sifuna factor is really carrying on with the people, and it is becoming very big. I think this is like the Gachagua factor after he was impeached. You know, they say that Gachagua will be forgotten after 2 weeks, but it has taken 2 years now. It's going down, and I think it is even becoming more hotter. So I think Sifuna, they thought that when they kick him out of ODM, is going to be done, and they are going to be done and dusted like the way they did Ababu Namwamba. But I think they did not count that this time round, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was not in the mix. You know, when he was there, everything could fall in place. Right now, he's not there, so nobody can be able to say he has the firm grip. Ata Uhuru, he can be having the firm grip of ODM, but him himself also is feeling the jitters. And to either nilitoa Sifuna kwa kama nilitoa Sifuna haraka, maybe itakuja kuwa repercussion. It can become a repercussion too. So I think those were the things I think I got from that meeting, and some of the opposition leaders talked there. It was even shocking that Uhuru never mentioned Martha Karua, who is a presidential candidate. But I think maybe there was something that maybe alikuwa anasema hawa ni watu wa kwangu hawa, so I will just name the ones who are not from my region. But for certain, you can hear the reception that Kalonzo is getting of late is not very loud like before. I think the Sifuna factor has really taken the limelight out of these people.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Joseph, what would you say about the reception, especially when Edwin Sifuna was mentioned and later Uhuru Kenyatta followed it with Sitakiuwa Sponsa? Because like he mentioned everyone, but he did not say any word, especially. But immediately after mentioning Sifuna, he cautioned people and said that, hey, mimi Sitakiuwa Sponsa. What does that one mean, especially when you put it in the way of politics, or maybe in the political field?
It is very shocking and very funny because Joaquim Simiyu did ask that question. Mimi Sitakiuwa sponsor ama me. There was something he had put the question. And people were saying, kusema mimi Sitakiuwa sponsor means that already you are admitting you are a sponsor, but you are denying it. But the fact is that you are a sponsor. So what I could take, I think, in the reception of Sifuna in Kitale, Kitale, well, I was even shocked but I think there is one thing that is happening in the larger Luhya community. I think they also are seeing the unifying factor that is becoming of Sifuna, because, you know, the one thing that happens, Brother Benson, when there is a young leader who is being fought by old people, it is certain that that young leader will prevail. And we have seen it with so many leaders out there. We saw even the likes of Akina Jago. You remember Jago? Akibio Kura na Maina Kamanda Akalia, and people were emotional about it, and he left it for him. So I think Sifuna as a unifying factor in Luhya land is trying to get now the attention is now coming. Hiyo grip yake inajaribu kushikika, but he's still very far because Luhya, you know, Luhya has been voting they have been voting they are divided so much. So they need to be mobilized. I think even those young men, Akina Gumo, they are helping in some way. But the reception I received in Kitale, the home of Kijana Wamani, that is what we are talking about. The home of Kijana Wamani, because that there is where he lays today. You can hear the reception of Sifuna. So it means like they are seeing him as the next potential kingpin in the Luhya land. But for Uhuru becoming a sponsor, Brother Benson, it is hidden in the remarks, obviously, and automatically he's a sponsor of Linda Mwananchi. But because even you can see the media marks, it does not need many kizungu. We can see the media marks, but the problem even is not because of becoming a sponsor. The sponsor is not an issue because Ruto is also sponsoring people. Hata yeye
Yeah.
akisponsor wale sponsor who has an issue with with sponsoring. He also
Okay.
sponsored people to. He has been sponsoring other people also to run as governors and MPs. What is the reason that somebody has a democratic right to say whatever he wants? He is a
All right.
president. He was a
Mhm.
former president, but he's a citizen of the Republic of Kenya. You can talk whatever you want. So those people telling him to, yes, everything, the 10 years of him had so many shortcomings and everything. But I think also the people are waiting to hear from him because if you heard them saying, tunataka kusikia kutoka kwako, I think they took it from the way Kikuyus never listened to him. You know, they never listened. Then they
Yeah.
came to cry. So I think it is also something that is helping because even the reception that Uhuru is getting, I don't think ni ile reception ati ya wewe ulikuwa mzuri kwa serikali sana. It's just
Mhm.
because he's somehow conflicted or is opposing Ruto. I think that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. Let me come to Mr. Eric. Eric, what would be your take, especially on the events in Kitale, Mimi Sio Sponsor, the Sifuna factor? What would you read from that?
Okay. I think the first thing I think Uhuru got a chance. Maybe he really doesn't get it most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was trying to neutralize the government propaganda about, or maybe it's true,
Yeah.
about him being a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I would get from that first. Then I think also he was trying to show he doesn't have much interest when he mentioned like all the presidential, maybe like those who are in his view who
Mm-hmm.
may be on the ballot. Yeah, maybe
Mm-hmm.
he was expecting Karonzo, Sifuna, Matiangi, and even he actually mentioned the name of Ruto.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think he was trying to show like to be neutral. I
Mm-hmm.
think,
Okay.
but
But
more important, what I think is as opposition too, they shouldn't depend so much on Uhuru,
mm-hmm.
apart from the finance and yeah.
Yeah.
You know, even in 2022, the people from like most of the Baba supporter, they
Yeah.
thought now they have the Uhuru was the answer.
Yes.
Yeah, and at some point Uhuru would say, I'm not going to give the government, I mean, I'm not going to hand over the power,
Mm.
you know, and that time Gachagua was very aggressive, saying,
Mm.
oh, it's not, you're not the one to make decision. I don't know, in 2013, Mwai Kibaki did not hand over power because he wanted. It's because the people of Kenya made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the opposition should know like the strength, his strength, Uru's strength.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't so much rely on him on more so in campaign. Uru is not going to come and campaign again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's not going to campaign again. But like Uhuru, like the plans of Uhuru is in Matiangi and Sifuna. And
Okay.
when he mentioned Sifuna name,
Mm-hmm.
he was actually trying to test the like the maybe the popularity of Sifuna in yeah.
Okay.
And
But now
yeah.
let me ask you, because we know for a fact that Uhuru Kenyatta is the name or the personality behind the Jubilee Party, and we have here Fred Okengo Matiangi, that everybody believe that is the person behind even that leadership that has been given to Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And now when he mentioned Sifuna's name and the reception and the wild cheers came around, then he was kind of like being very cautious, even telling the people, hey, people, you know what? I do not want to be called a sponsor, which he did not do on all the candidates that he mentioned. And that is now where people now raise those questions and say that, oh, maybe what has always been said, or what has always been assumed in the public, that President Uhuru Kenyatta is the person behind the Linda Mwananchi. This could be true.
Yes, but I think because Sifuna did not attend,
yeah,
somehow you cannot say like fully is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you still have some reservations. Maybe those doubts.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah. So I think I'm trying to think why Sifuna did not attend.
Yeah.
Maybe could be part of the reason, because I think if he could have attended the maybe I think those in government would would speak with confidence that
is the
yeah.
Okay, let me just ask Msimamo a little bit, then I can come back to you. Maybe Msimamo, we maoni yako ni gani kwa ufupi? Kwa sababu kulingana na maneno ya Mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta ni kwamba alitana maneno ya hawa viongozi ambao wanataka kuwania urais, na pale alipoita jina la Sifuna na aliita la mwisho kabisa, watu wakasherekea na kushangilia, akasema kwamba mimi bana, we tahadhari, mimi sitaki kuitwa sponsor. Unadhani kwa nini alisema hayo?
Hapa ni kama alikuwa ni ule uzungumzaji tu kutaka kumkejeli mtu, lakini kama ni kusponsor na haki ya kusponsor ni hiari yake, rasilimali ya kwake, hela kama ni hela za kwake, ana hali hiyo, ni haki yake, kwa sababu kila mtu anakula ambako anakupenda. Kuna wale ambao wana support government, kuna wale ambao wana support opposition. So awe sponsor siwe sponsor, hiyo ni haki yake. Lakini tukija katika kulitaja jina la mfumuko wa jinsi ambavyo tuliona aswa ushabiki ule, kutest ule upenzi aswa wa viongozi, pia waelewe fika kwamba Aspina anakubalika, kwa sababu alitaja wote, karibu viongozi wote pale majina. Baadhi ya viongozi walikuwa pale aliwataja majina, lakini mwisho wa siku tuliona fika, kwa sababu alizungumza Kalonzo, watu wakashabikia, akazungumza Matianga, watu wakazungumzia, lakini alipotaja Sifuna umati ule ukashangilia zaidi. Hii ni kuonyesha haswa nchi kwamba ukijana pamoja na yote, lakini ukijana ambaye haswa anakubalika, ama ukiongoza anakubalika sana, haswa miongoni kwa wale ambao haswa wataweza kusimama haswa upande huu wa wanaamini na one term movement, nikimaanisha Linda Mwananchi na United Opposition, kumaanisha kwamba jina la Sifuna limo masikioni mwa Wakenya wengi, karibu taifa zima, si pale tu, unaona. Kwa hivyo katika hali yao ya pengine kuchaguana, basi haswa katika kuchagua kule, ili jina lisiwe mbali vile, kwa sababu ni jina ambalo linakubalika, na ili washinde hawa, basi ni yule ambaye ataweza kukubalika haswa katika kitaifa. So ni baadhi tu ya kwamba alikuwa na kauli mfano tu, waone wale viongozi wenyewe haswa masikioni mwao reaction ya wananchi itakuwaje, ili mwisho wakienda katika meza wajue fika kwamba haswa ni nani ambaye anafaa haswa kuweza kuleta ushindi huu kwa kuweza kukubalika katika hili taifa.
Alright. Okay, asante sana. Wacha nikuje kwa mwenzangu Eric. I want also you to share with us your view, because the reception that they got, especially, and Sifuna got that when Uhuru mentioned that, when the president mentioned that, what message, especially the United Oppositions who are there, who are aspiring to be to vie for presidency, what is this message sending them, especially as the United Opposition? What is this message is sending them, and what kind of like strategic decisions they can make based on this, or is still too early to think of the best strategy or decision making?
Is it too early? Maybe not. I think no, it's not.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't wait too much because we have, like, now we can say we have months or less than a year. I think Sifuna, for me, I've always maintained that right now Sifuna is ahead of maybe all, even if he doesn't get the, like, being a presidential candidate, even being given a running mate is a, how do I say it? I don't know how to put it. You know, there's that person where you can give him a running mate and you say, yeah, it's like, you know, he is above even that, you know.
So
Yeah. So Sifuna right now is in presidency.
But when you look at the Sifuna now is in the presidency, you look at the United Opposition Alliance, where each one of them, they are saying that, okay, we will be working together and we are ready to compromise. Time is running, which you've also spoken about. And you know you're competing against somebody who is one, has the state resources with him and enjoys intelligence and briefing and everything that is happening, and they're still taking their sweet time. How will this one cost them, especially at this moment in time? And you look at the time frame.
Okay. I think if they are going to be united, I don't see any problem. If they are going to be united, unity. That's how you see, even when Uhuru was speaking, like that was the clarion call by all, even by Giru.
Yeah.
And Didi Nyoro did 2 interviews, and at sometimes he tried to evade that question. But I love the presenter, the person who was asking the question. You know, Didi Nyoro was asked the question of Matiba and Kibaki.
Yes.
You know, there's this narrative about Matiba, like it was like the government project. And Didi Nyoro was somehow defensive of Matiba with the good points, because he was saying Matiba got 1.4 votes and Kibaki got 1 million, let me say 1.05 million votes.
Yeah.
And so according to you, who could have maybe, who was a stronger candidate?
The one who got
Kibaki
more.
Yes?
The one who got more.
Yeah, the one who got more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first point. The other point was like, who was the first, like, to, I mean, how do I put it? Like, who announced to run for the presidency first, between Kibaki and Matiba?
It was Kibaki.
No, it was Matiba. Yes. They even gave the dates. Yeah. So he had good points, but the presenter still maintained on the question, and Didi Nyoro also tried to return the question back, but the person who was asking the question was very smart, and in the end, Didi Nyoro said there's no way for him. The mistake that Matiba did, or Kibaki that time, was to divide the Mount Kenya votes. So I think this time there's that agreement. He cannot be used to divide Mount Kenya votes. So I think yes.
I think it was even is it Linjiru? Linjiru was then the I think at some point he talked about on how President Moi knew very well that he's losing against DP Kibaki. Then they had to bring Matiba on board and to say that, okay, all these people, you are the best candidate, and that's how they ended up losing to Moi.
Yeah. So actually, that conversation about Lee was also involved there. It was actually the main discussion in the topic.
Yeah.
And Didi Nyoro was saying, explain to me how Matiba was the project. But the person who was asking the question said his main part was, are you going to divide Mount Kenya votes?
Okay.
And in the end, there was an agreement. He cannot divide the Mount Kenya votes. He said he's going to support the one who will be supported by the others. So I'm saying, as long as they are going to unite, there's no problem. As long as they are going to unite.
Okay, thank you so much. But there's also raising against time. When you look at campaigns, you need to set up a secretariat whereby you have a communication command team whereby not each and every presidential candidate is speaking differently. They have to be speaking in one voice. Joseph, maybe what would be your take, especially for what happened that day yesterday, and what should opposition learn from that? Can they use the wild cheers and what Uhuru spoke about, unite together, Wekesa spoke about it, to forge a way forward, especially to build a team that is going to compete against President William Ruto? Or they're still going to buy time?
This one will be reflected well in next year as we are approaching February, because I think you need to have named your running mate and the candidacy who is going to run against the incumbent. And I think that one is going to be from 6 months before the election, and that means it is going to be on February 10th. So by February 10th, we'll have known I think even it's not February. By December, we would have known the candidacy of the opposition and the running mate, and how they are going to structure their government, because you need to announce it earlier, and then so that you can be able to do. We don't have time, Brother Benson.
Yeah.
We are already in September, so it means if we are already in September, it means we have only around 11 months, because now even if you count, you see it is 356 days. So it means there is no time for joking around with them. And I think Rigathi Gachagua is going to the US. He has said that he's going to have a conclave with himself. I've never had a conclave with yourself. This will be the first one in the world. But he has said that he does not want to have any influence from outside, as he's going to be deliberating on how they are going to be able to get the candidates. I think even the other candidates are going to be out of the country. Maybe we are going to hear them out of the country, because this now is a very serious and crucial time that they need to fix. This is either you break it or you make it. And if opposition goes together as one, they have a very good lineup. But even if it is one leg that is going to be broken, either we say Matiang'i has left or we say Kalonzo has left, it's going to be a very difficult race, and maybe that one may draw us back to the 50-50, or we lack 50+1. So we are going to go to a runoff.
Yes.
If we go to a runoff, it is very easy for the president to, it is only one election for the runoff. We don't have the other MPs there for the governor. So I think also them, they know that if they gamble with this time, and they don't accept one candidate, it's going to haunt them later. And also the timing of the campaign, 6 months. I think they have tried, because of Piga Kelele for the past 3 years, but good campaigns and the agenda and what they are going to do for the people, it needs to be shown within the timelines that they have been given. And I think they only have 10 months now to do that, because I think this 1 month is for thinking of the candidacy they are going to get, and the deputy and the running mate that they're going to get. So I think they don't have time to do that. So what I can see is, if they go together, they have a very good chance. But if they start infighting, even we had an infighting between Musalia. You remember Musalia last time?
Yeah.
The 2022. Raila was not able to hold on to Musalia Mudavadi, and that one really cost him, because Musalia Mudavadi is the one who took 200,000 votes. You remember? The one that Raila missed in that election.
No,
So
it's Wetangula,
not
Musalia.
Wetangula.
Both of them, because even Wetangula, we cannot say he never got some votes. That tsunami we had about tsunami, it was that thing really messed up most of the Nini. But right now the game is changing also for them. I don't think that Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi right now they have that capacity they had at that time, 2022, because also the young people are taking the politics of the nation. You have seen even Western, the young people like Akina Didmas and the other ones, they are really taking into it, and Akina Malala. So those are the things that are happening. So I'm praying that they are going to get one candidacy. That is one thing that they need to have if they are going to go at it with William. William Ruto is not a candidate to joke with, Brother Benson. He's a very formidable candidate. And he has been in this campaign trail since he was a youth in 1992, the youth for Kano. He has been there. He has seen how elections are done. He has seen how campaigns are done. He has never lost an election. You know that?
Yeah,
He has never lost an election. So going against somebody like that, you need to bring all your guns blazing. And I think also they know that. They know that. But I agree with Eric that Uhuru Kenyatta is not a person to be huyo si mtu wa kutegemea. He's not a person to be
relied on.
to be relied on because he has shown in 2022 that his words were only talk. The only thing that they can rely on him is only financial, because going against then an incumbent, Brother Benson, you know how hard it is because also of financial strain, financial constraint. So what they need to do, they need to be serious now. They need to be very, very serious for the remaining 10 months if they want to remove William Ruto as a president. So, but one thing I want to disagree with Eric is about Didi Nyoro, because Didi Nyoro cannot be the Matiba of today. You know, Matiba of that time had support across board in Mount Kenya, but I don't think Didi Nyoro even can cross even more than 500,000, maybe in Muranga, and it will be very, very difficult because you know Muranga is in Kiharu, yes, Kiharu, yes, but the support within the Raja Mount Kenya, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult because most of them view him as a project of Ruto. And you know one thing that happened, Didi Nyoro really shot himself on the foot when there was a vote which was happening in Parliament. You remember it? There was a day they were voting.
Finance bill.
And and even there was another one they were voting the other time. Was it for our finance bill? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, both of them finance bill.
He was not in the country. So what does that mean? And he has been absent in those crucial moments. Even even for Gachagua, you remember even the impeachment of Gachagua, he never voted.
Yeah.
So people view him somehow as a mole, and he has not even castigated this government very well. We are not seeing him in his picture very well. You know, he's like that kind of a guy. The way Matiang'i was coming in politics, you remember? Matiang'i was neither cold nor hot, so people were afraid of him so much. And Gachagua was afraid of him. You remember he was saying, we are afraid of this guy, we don't know. But and later now they came and they started talking, I think after they talked with Uhuru Kenyatta. But this one for Didi Nyoro, it's not shown really. It is a confusing. And why does he even have a party right now? You know, things. You know that is how people start dividing votes in places where they know there is block rich votes, and that is what Roko is being done. You know, the Timberman is called Timberman. You know, Roko in my language this means timber.
Okay.
It means a tree. So that is what I wanted to say.
All right, thank you so much. We will also.
Can I make a comment?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with him about the. Oh, someone is raising his hand.
Yeah, Msimamo, he's going to immediately after you is going to make a comment on the opposition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with him about Didi Nyoro that you cannot compare him with Matiba. That's true. Even if he was to vie as a member of parliament, I said 2013 Kangata got 63,000, 65,000. 2017 Didi got 63,000. 2022 Didi got 68,000.
68, yeah.
If in 2027 he was to go for the same seat instead and being a party leader of PPK, he would get lesser vote, maybe 45 there, because I'm sure DCP can get about maybe 20 to 30,000 in Kiharu. And beside Kiharu, I don't think he has influence in Kandara, in Gatanga. His influence is not that huge. But however, I think when I listened to him about the party, he explained it in a way that it was convincing. It was convincing because uh, he said, and when you look at the number of people coming to his party,
Mhm.
I think he's making some inroads you cannot ignore. I think he through his party is making opposition much stronger.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But there's another point before
Okay.
you go.
All right.
He made a comment about Wetangula, and I think in I said, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say, Brother Benson, you are the presidential candidate, okay?
Yep. Yep.
And you got, this is your stronghold. You got, maybe I can assume, maybe I don't know which is your stronghold,
Yeah.
Bugoma or where? Let's say in Bugoma.
Yes.
In
And
Kasipul.
or in Kasipul, okay. You get about, okay, let me give you Homa Bay then. Actually, it's
Yeah.
Homa Bay.
Yeah.
So you get about 300, almost 400,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, almost you get 400 votes
Yeah.
in 2017.
Yeah.
Then, when there is that vote increment,
Yes.
you get less votes.
Uh-huh.
What does that tell you?
It's if you get, which means there's decrease in your popularity.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not popular among
Yes.
your electorate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but someone like Baba was, you expect the Baba, like his popularity to always increase.
But also it can be another thing that might also affect it. It might be if you might be popular, but amongst the new entrant voters, you are not popular amongst them. You've maintained your percentage, but the population of that area has gone up. So you are still
Yes, correct, Brother Benson. You can be even the new population does
yeah.
not know you well because
Yes.
the age gap is growing. So like now the Gen Alpha, if the Gen Alpha you tell them about Raila Odinga, will they know truly? They cannot know the struggle that he has gone through.
Yeah.
Okay, in this case, I'm saying, to be fair with Tangura, and because I feel Baba made some political mistake when he removed him in parliament, in I think minority, when he was saying there'll be casualty and all those things, and to some extent Uhuru had kind of convinced them, and they left last minute. So Baba in Homa Bay, I always say, in Homa Bay, Baba got, in 2017, he got 404 votes, 150.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2022, he got 399 votes.
Mm-hmm.
So if Homa Bay, like, if about 70,000 people had, like, there was that, I mean, what do you call it? Like maintaining your base,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes Rigiji always say these things and people laugh at him.
Mm-hmm.
Baba spends so much time in the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. Msimamo is going to contribute. Let me just. Makobura is here, so let Makobura continue with the show. Makobura is the turn. Msimamo was supposed to give his view, especially on what the United Opposition Alliance should learn or should take note of, especially when President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta mentioned the name of Sifuna, and then later he said that Sitakiuwa Sponsa. So what can opposition, especially alliance, learn from that, and what can they pick, especially to help them going towards 2027 general election? So from there now you can continue, and thank you so much. Let me head somewhere.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana, Mr. Brother Benson, for your time. We appreciate. Thank you so much. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of our good friends. I can see Bwana Joseph Yosefu. Nice to see you. It's been months, bwana. Ulipotelea wapi? I can also see our good friend Eric.
Sorry, brother Marco Buddha. I have been lost for a while, but right now I'm in the country. And I want to pass my greetings to you. I missed you all a long time. Hata nimeona Gypsy Kona Agudi hapo chini, nimemsalimia sana. Alikuwa amenisalimia kitambo. And also Judy.
Oh, very well. Thank you so much. And if you're around, I think we can find time and meet one of these days. Allow me to also appreciate Eric. Eric was here. He has dropped. Thank you so much, Eric, for also finding time to be with us. And our good friend Bwana Msimamo naye pia ako hapa. Namsalimu. Nikienda hii upande ingine naona Goody at the comment section. You can see Judith at the comment section. I can see Philip, Manasseh, I can see Rose, I can see Sharon, and everyone who is watching. Allow me to take this opportunity to just acknowledge their presence and, of course, to appreciate the fact that they've taken their time to be with us this evening and to support us. We really appreciate, and may God bless all of you. Bwana Msimamo, nimeambiwa ulikuwa unaendelea, so I'll give you a chance to proceed before I get back to Bwana Joseph. Msimamo?
Asante ndugu yangu Mark, kwanza pokea zangu tangia jana Hope Power, lakini vile vile sitaki kuwa mrefu ili tumpe Joseph, najua pia ni muda na ni jamaa wangu ambavuni pia, angalau na yeye haswa leo show hii aiendeleze. Mimi yangu mafupi, mimi langu lilikuwa nitaongezea hapa kwa Ndilinyoro, maana nina wasiwasi napo tangia bwana huyu atengeneze chama chake na the way amesema anajiunga na United Opposition. Na ndugu zangu hapa mmezungumza haswa mfano ule ambao mmepeana kwa hayati ule mwenda zake Matiba na mheshimiwa hayati pia Kibaki, mambo yalivyokuwa miaka hiyo ya 90, jinsi alivyopikwa haswa mheshimiwa Matiba na kila kitu kikawa kimepangika kivyake. So mimi wasiwasi wangu ni kwamba Joseph anasema Eric alikuwa anasema kwamba hapana, kuna at least kwamba tunahitaji hili fungu lake kuingia huku, lakini kauli yake mimi moja tu ambayo inanipa wasiwasi kwamba simwamini, naona kwamba kiguu ndani kiguu nje upande wake, ni hii speech yake baada ya kutangaza chama chake na ziara zake ambazo alikuwa atazifanya swa bonde la Ufa. Alitaja kule Nandi, akataja kule Elgeyo Marakwet, akataja Uasin Gishu, akataja sehemu zile zote. Hapa ndipo nilipogundua mpango huu kwamba je, mbona unawiana na kile ambacho kilifanyika wakati ule wa Matiba? Kwa maana kauli yake hii ilinileta hiyo picha, na katika uchambuzi mwingi ambao nimefuatilia kuhusiana na ujio wa Ndilinyoro United Opposition pamoja na chama chake, lakini vile vile stand zake haswa alizochukua kwenda kule, it's like ni vile vile tulivyoshuhudia wakati huo, mambo alivyokuwa wakati huo wa Matiba, kwamba aliweza kupata backup kubwa, watu wakajitokeza upande huo, kitu ambacho mwisho wa siku kilionyesha mlima kwamba hata iweje huyu jamaa ameweza kukubalika ngome ile, tofauti na Kibaki, na mwisho wa siku mafungu akawa mawili haya yakaweza kumpa ushindi aswa mwenye fungu moja ambaye alikuwa ni mheshimiwa Moi wakati huo. So hapa hata kama ni vipi, lakini mbona katika kauli yake na speech yake alisisitiza zaidi kwamba ziara yake itakuwa maeneo yale. Je, nyie wenzangu hapa mnaonaje haswa katika kauli yake na mizunguko yake ambayo alisema kwanza ziara zangu za kwanza nitaishia kule? Je, vipi hatutashuhudia lile ambalo haswa tulikuta kwa Matiba, kwamba ataweza kupokelewa kule kwa kikamilifu, kiasi kwamba kutaanza kuleta wasiwasi haswa mlima ule kuona kwamba huyu kijana ameweza kukubalika upande huo na kuweza kukata haswa shindo lile ambalo haswa alimewekwa sasa hivi na mheshimiwa Gachagua na DCP. hapa ndo kunanipa wasiwasi, labda ndugu zangu mtoe taka za masikio, kwa sababu naona atuendako Ndindi Nyoro hana tofauti na Matiba alivyofanywa. Maana kama atapokelewa kule aswa katika Elgeyo Marakwet, Uasin Gishu na hizo sehemu ambazo atazuru kwa kulingana na kauli yake, kutaonyesha mazima ule tofauti baina ya yeye na kupokelewa kwa Gachagua upande ule na yeye kupokelewa upande ule. Kwa hiyo je, hamtuoni kwamba hapa kwamba hii ni fix ambayo aswa mwisho wa siku huyu tunamdhania ndiye huenda akageuka akawa sie? Asante.
Thank you, Bwana Msimamo, for your take. I don't know whether Joseph, you had given your view on the same before we move to the next segment on the issue
Thank
of
you, Marco
Ndindi
Buru.
Nyoro.
Thank you, Marco Buru. I think hata ni mimi nilianzia hiyo mjadala ya Ndindi Nyoro. I'm the one who was saying that we don't seem like we know where he stands is, because you cannot come and just say that you're starting a new party, whereas you know that the party which is dominant in an area is a party which is called DCP, because that party is really predominant, and he knows the power that it has in the certain areas like Muranga where he comes from. So it is very confusing. That's why you see people are starting to say he's a mole. And the problem in Mount Kenya politics, brother Marco Bura, when you start to be noticed as a mole, it happens to Peter Kenneth, and I'm telling you, Peter Kenneth, politically he has never recovered. And it happened also to our sister Mother Karua, and you saw what happened. He has been outside of the government, I think, since 2008 there, because she was given the justice minister, but she refused in the Grand Coalition. So I think if Ndindi Nyoro is not careful, Marco Bura, he's going to go in the footsteps of the likes of Akina Peter Kenneth. And Peter Kenneth was a good leader, but the problem that came in is people thought him as a mole who was trying to fix Uhuru Kenyatta. You remember in the 2013 ICC cases, he ran against Uhuru Kenyatta, and so the people of Mount Kenya are not forgiving that much. So they are seeing that because Ndindi Nyoro was not involved even in the voting of Rigathi Gachagua when he was being ousted and impeached. Ndindi Nyoro has voted for finance bill, yes, in 2024, but in the previous one that we were supposed to see him saying no or voting a nay, we never saw him in parliament. Then later he serviced for 3 days saying that alikuwa sijui ameenda wapi masomo, what the story was saying. So people cannot picture him very well. That's why they have a certain fear with him.
Okay, thank you so much. There's also this thing that is trending. I don't know whether you've given your views on it. The issue of the speaker and the TSC. Did you talk about that, Bwana Msimamo, Joseph? Or I can
Yes,
read
we
for.
have talked. Yes, tumezungumzia hilo.
Okay. Then allow me to just give my general view on that again, because I also thought it's a serious thing that we need to give our views. First, I'll just give a brief about how it came about. And so the National Assembly Speaker, Moses Wetangula, has alleged that some MPs are selling Teachers Service Commission appointment letters. And according to reports, Wetangula said some MPs who accompanied him to State House received TSC appointment letters from President William Ruto, with some allegedly receiving up to 10 letters. He then, alleged that some MPs sell these particular opportunities. Okay, very well. Thank you so much, Joseph. We appreciate your presence, and I hope that whenever utakuwa umepata nafasi utajiunga nasi ndio tuendeleze hii mazungumzo. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us, Bwana Joseph. Yeah, so I'll just I'll just give my view again as I was giving. So according to the reports, some MPs, of course, accompanied the speaker and they were given those particular letters. Some received up to 10. He then alleged that some MPs sell those opportunities for as low as, for as much as 400,000. This is an extremely serious allegation. But again, we need to distinguish between an allegation and, of course, that particular proven fact. But remember, this is something that is coming from the speaker. So probably it is a true thing. So the speaker coming out to give this in a public platform, then I think for such matters to get to the people and for the speaker to reveal, then it is now a serious thing. Very serious. So we are seeing that this people are being they're selling this particular TSA jobs, and this has always been the cry of the people. Why is the justice? Why is it that people go to school and the issues of TSA appointment? These are things that should come depending on the time that you've been on the field, depending on when you graduated and such kind of things, and also depending on age. So when these things are then given without looking at all these particular things, then there is no equity in this particular way. And why would the president be giving this particular appointments? Why would he give to the MPs? What about those people who are not supporting him? Is he a president for the supporters, his supporters, or is he a president for the Republic of Kenya? Those are things that also needs to be looked into, and I don't think it is fair, because it is so unfair. So imagine a young Kenyan who has spent years studying. They go to the university, they graduate, they apply for teaching job, they wait for opportunities. Then someone comes and tells you that bring 400,000 and I will give you a TSA job. For a young person without employment, that amount is very much. It is so much. And where would the money come from? Is it going to come from a loan that they have to pay? Is it going to come from family that, of course, they also have to pay? Are they going to sell land to afford this particular amount? Are they going to borrow friends? And what happens to those who cannot afford it? So if you cannot afford, you are not, whether you qualify, you have everything in order, you will not get it. It's that painful. So this story has generated a lot of anger, because the unemployed are already desperate. The young people are desperate. They are struggling. And instead of them getting, support from a government that they elected, it is so unfair that even the people who are supposed to be solving the issues, coming up with measures to ensure that these challenges are solved, they're the ones who are getting into this kind of activities. Yeah, so I just wanted to try connect it with the ongoing 2027 general election that, of course, is coming in a year. We've seen this these words coming from the speaker. And remember, we're also getting into, we are getting into campaigns. So how is it going to affect the politics? Are they using this particular means to access to expand their political network? Or what is it that is happening? Bwana Msimamo, why would they do this? Are they genuine to the people of Kenya? Is Chapter 6 even being, looked into? Is there equity? What are they bringing up? Msimamo.
Lakini nani ameleta haya? Si ni speaker?
Yes.
Na kama ni yeye ameleta haya, kwani tume ya kuajiri walimu kazi yake ni nini? Si ni tume huru? ikiwa ni tume huru, mbona wasiwajibike kwa hili? Na spika akaungana na ushahidi wake huu kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao wamefanya hivi, hata kama hiyo top office, the highest office of the land inahusika kwa njia moja ama nyingine katika hili, mbona asitoke kimasomaso? Ama mimi naona ni kiki tu anatafuta Wetangula, wanafika kwamba labda pengine Haswa ataweza kugeni ile ambacho ashaanza kukipoteza Haswa kwa watu wake, tofauti na 2002 kurudi nyuma huko. So nafikiri mimi hapa hili ni jambo ambalo linawekwa kisiasa, mtu kutafuta umaarufu tu, kati silioni kwa sababu tume nao husika na masuala haya ipo, na kama wanaona kwamba kuna mambo yanafanyika hivi kwamba Haswa hizi nafasi zinauzwa Haswa katika bei hiyo Haswa iliyotajwa, na misukumo hiyo inatoka katika ngazi hiyo ya juu, basi njia zipo za kufuatwa kisheria kuonafika kwamba ili Haswa linakomeshwa, kwa sababu ni corruption, hii ni ufisadi, ni miongoni mwa ufisadi. Lakini vile vile Haswa walengwa wale ambao wamepewa hizo nafasi za nyadhifa hizi si wale ambao Haswa wamekusudiwa. Maana si kwamba ni hili tu la walimu, tumeshuhudia mambo mengi, polisi kadhalika, na mengi tu yanafanyika. So to me, mimi naona ni kiki tu ya kisiasa, Wetangula ataitafuta, mwisho wa siku yataishia tu hewani, kwa sababu hatutaona jambo lolote likifanyika juu ya hili ambalo ameweza kulitaja, kwa sababu yeye ni miongoni ambaye anasimamia bunge, lakini pia ngazi yake pia ni mtu ambaye kwa sasa swali lolote litokea anaweza endesha nchi Haswa kikatiba. Kwa si sehemu aliyopo ama kazi alionayo ama nafasi alionayo ama ngazi alionayo si ngazi ndogo Haswa kiasi kwamba tuichukulie tu kubezi hivi baba tulia tu kiutanutani. Tungeona actions zikifanyika, si kwamba uletwe tume ya uchunguzi. Uchunguzi upo wakati hali anajua ni akina nani Haswa wamepewa nafasi, ni wabunge akina nani wamepewa nafasi na wameziuza, unaona. Lakini vile vile pia hizo mabarua ambazo zimetoka Haswa katika the highest office, yeye anajua. Kwa nini nisiende direct kwa masuala na kisheria kukomesha hadi hii, na pia Wakenya waone kuna jambo limefanyika. So hili ni kiki tu amezungumza, kama kiki tu, na wengine wanavyozungumza kiki zao. Kakangu sio kama unanipata. Mark, unanipata? Upo ama unisikii kaka? Ndugu, nasikika kweli ama niko peke yangu?
Nasikika, pole pole. So nilikuwa nasema it is that strange that we have gotten to this particular extent, and I think I've given my views on that. Msimama, I'll give you a chance, you give your final remarks, and then can now pick up. I mean, I can also give my final remarks before we close. Msimama?
Mimi maneno yangu ya mwisho ni kwamba si kila mgeni ajaye tu nyumbani basi ana ujio wenye neema. Wengine tu wanakuja ile basi tu kutakuja kuona kwamba unakaaje, unapanga nini, unakula nini, kisha mwisho wa siku wapate kwa kuanzia. Na nizungumze hilo kwa ujio wa Ndindi Nyoro, kama anachokimaanisha na interview imeulizwa anamaanisha kweli, basi awajibike, aungane na wengine. Lakini kama ujio huu wa ugeni upande wa pili huu, lakini ni ule ambao tulishuhudia ama ule ambao ulitokea Haswa wakati ya miaka ya 90, kuona kwamba fika anaharibu kile ambacho kimepangika kwa tamaa yake, basi ni kweli kama atafauli kwa hilo sawa, lakini kwa kweli itakuwa ni maji ya shamagika, itakuwa kuzoleka tena, itakuwa ni ngumu. Ndio atakuwa Haswa hana tija tena, Haswa marufuku utakuwa umeshuka, lakini mwisho wa siku utakuwa umetumiza. Kwa hiyo kama ni mkweli, basi aungana wengine, asiwe na haraka ya goti mno, kupiana manifesto na kadhalika, lakini la mwisho ni kuungana kwa united position, waungane kwa sababu siku zimebaki ni kidogo mno. Ikiwa wanamaanisha na one term, tuwaone kwamba ametupa haswa kiongozi kwa wakati, ili haswa Wakenya wahitimishe lao haswa 2027 kwa sababu maamuzi washachukua, washawaona haswa viongozi wao both sides wa government na pande huu, unaona. Kwa hiyo mimi sina usemi mwingi tu, leo tu kwangu ni kwa Ndini Nyoro. Ndini Nyoro kama anamaanisha kweli yuko pamoja na united position, basi asituambie mikutano kwanza ataanza mahali fulani na mahali fulani. Ndio ana uhuru wa kuzunguka katiba, lakini asitufanyishe kile ambacho kilifanywa wakati ule, kuweza kuona fika kwamba anaharibu kile ambacho kimeweza kupangika haswa, kuweza kuona kwamba taifa linaelekea kuliko, na tuondokana na mahali ambapo haswa tunaelekea kusiko kwa kila dalili ambayo tunaishuhudia. That's my take for today. Asante kaka yangu Mark, na kwa wale ambao wameweza kutenga muda kutusikiza pia. Kesho ni siku, mimi nikipata nafasi basi nitakuwa hapa kama kawaida, kama ada, kama dawa, kama kawaida, kama kawa. Mimi niko tu kwa ajili ya kuona pale ambapo tutaweza kudadavua, kwa sababu ni kupitia mazungumzo ndipo ambapo haswa tutalijenga ili taifa katika misingi ambayo itakuwa na tija kwa wakati wetu huu, kwa ajili ya wale ambao tunawaandalia, ninamaanisha vizazi vijavyo, viishi katika taifa ambalo litakuwa haswa limejengwa katika misingi ya katiba na sheria, lakini vile vile kuona kwamba linajaliana kusebiana bora katika jamii na kuondokana na siasa ya ungome na kadhalika na ushabiki. Asante.
Okay, thank you Bwana Msimamo for your time and of course for your take. We really appreciate. Allow me once again to appreciate everyone who joined us today and those who came to the panel. We appreciate so much, and may God bless all of you. Those who watched at the comment section, we as well appreciate. Allow me to take this opportunity to remind you that over here we do say your opinion counts. We do have this kind of conversations. You can always join us on a daily basis. You can subscribe, like, and share. Allow me to wish you all then a blessed morning, afternoon, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening, a blessed night from wherever you're watching us. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again